Hey guys, Celeb Magic here, and Wizards just dropped one of the strangest press releases I've ever seen, hinting at something a bit derivative and weird for 2022. And they just straight up copied and pasted this. They refer to themselves in the third person, and there's no intro setting this up at all. So this is just weird, in case you haven't caught on. So let's read it. It's titled Magic the Gathering and Post Malone team up for a year-long celebration of making Friday Night Magic. Well, the Danny Trejo collab was a little cringe, but whatever. PewDiePie, completely unrelated to them in any way, playing the game and then completely dumping on it because everybody was just playing Red Rush was just beyond hilarious. It was the best, anti-marketing campaign I've ever seen. And it really should have been a huge wake-up call for them to fix the game, because he basically told 6 or 7 million unique viewers, hey, don't play this. Then we had the Mr. Beast team up, which I think to this day we've never heard who won the giveaway, because nobody did, to the best of my knowledge. They missed the deadline at least once or twice after extending it, I think, for disclosing who won, which means it was all scam and nobody won, in my opinion. So, sparing information other than that, that's where they left that one. Then very recently, they did this silent campaign where they paid, I know, Moist Critical aka Charlie aka Penguin Z0 to play Arena on stream, and it started to they don't want to piss off sponsors. He's not stupid, but they brought in the one friend in their friend group who knew how to play, and he was doing his best to cover for how crap the game was, but boy, it became very clear very quickly that they got sick of running up against abusive tier 1 control garbage in the Bronze League. And they're like, oh, yep, it's this again. Oh, looks like we lost again to that deck. Oh, let's rotate players and try again. Oh, isn't this fun, you guys? I actually feel bad for him. And then I forgot who else they roped in on this. I know I saw some other major streamers jumping on, and it was clear that Wizards paid them. In fact, obviously, they're American. They had to legally disclose it. So I forgot who else was tied up in that last marketing push, but now, fast forward, okay, we're moving on to Post Malone, who is a known Magic player. That's right, he's not a closeted Magic player, he is out there and loving every minute of it. But he's also a drug addict who writes garbage music, and is a terrible example for any kid anywhere, or adult. But those lefties at Wizards don't care because they're a bunch of morons with no morals. So with that little history of marketing pushes, let's read this unusually copy-pasted press release. And it even starts with Renton, Washington, December 21st, 2021. I mean, literally, they took this straight from a Word document. They didn't even write a little intro paragraph, a little prologue, hey guys, we've got an announcement. Here's a copy of it. It just drops you right in. It's so weird. So anyway, Wizards of the Coast, a division of Hasbro Inc., NASDAQ, acronym HAS in parentheses, okay, today announced a collaboration between Grammy-nominated recording artist Post Malone and their popular gaming brand Magic the Gathering. Well, it's better than the last marketing campaign that they did silently. The partnership will kick off with a return of Friday Night Magic, a global play program celebrated by millions of players across more than 8,000 stores worldwide every week. That is not the correct number. Last I heard, the exact number was 6,400, and I believe that number was from 2017 to 2018. I mean, I read it again, and okay, they could be counting WPN and non-WPN program stores combined, but they just said Friday Night Magic, which you can't officially hold at a non-WPN store. I should know, I was one of them. Also, how would they know if we closed? They don't know that I closed. They have no record of me. The distributor does, Wizards does not. Now, after COVID and after them directly competing with stores with Secret Lairs and on Amazon, I don't think the number is still 6,400. I think it's closer to the high 5,000s, but that's not the only number that's very suspect in this announcement. Wait till you hear the next one. And no, they're not insisting in this article that it's 34% female or some ridiculous number like that again. My channel says it's 1.3%. So there seems to be a discrepancy here. Anyway, Magic's return to stores comes on the heels of the game's biggest year ever, depending upon how you measure it, I should add, with a 25-year history, Also incorrect. More than 50 million fans are gearing up for a jam-packed 2022, featuring new partnerships, bigger online experiences, and even more ways to celebrate the game they love. So partnerships, that's more sponsorships and more third-party crap tie-ins. I mean, we already know what some of them are. Like, I think we're yet to see the details on the Lord of the Rings secret lair. Bigger online experiences, I don't know. Last I heard, they reduced the prize pool significantly for any kind of pro level. Are they talking about the decathlon? Because that's not in 2022. Well, I guess the finale is, okay, sure. And even more ways to celebrate the game they love. First of all, most people currently playing and hate the game. And secondly, I've heard from the community that we want less ways to celebrate the game that we hate. Like, less products and less alchemy and more putting Pioneer in Arena, which could be what they're referring to. But let's back the truck up to 50 million fans, okay? I think the peak number I heard was between 10 million and 11 million in 2013 around RTR. Or that's when it started to go up, and the peak, I think 2 or 3 years later was just over 10 million. I think people who played at least one registered structured event in a year at a WPN location, I think is how they mentioned the number was counted. It's been a while. I mean, I didn't know this would be on the test. But 50 million. They've lost between 60 and 75% of all active users on Arena from the best metrics that I've seen leading up until I think mid-2020 that number was. They have driven everyone away. Just even the view counts on my channel are down, and all the comments say, I don't play anymore, I quit, I just want to still hear the news and what's going on. Magic doesn't have any fans or players left. It's just that simple. So for them to go from 10 million to somehow 50 million, they are making that number up. I don't know whose ass they pulled it out of, but my guess is it's everyone who has ever played the game once in their entire life. I think that's the number they chose. Literally whether the person still plays or not, or is still alive or not. They might be estimating people who have picked up, touched, and read a Magic card sometime in their life. That's the only way I can think they got past even 20 million. I thought maybe that 10 million, 11 million number included casuals or something. Because I thought they also quoted only 1 million or something had played at a pre-release, or I don't remember. Let's just say I'm a little skeptical that there are 50 million Magic fans in the world. I think it's closer to about 5. Oh, and biggest year in history. Yeah, most egregious cash grabs. That's how they measured it, because if they measured it with active users, it would not be the biggest. It's just pure income, which is really damaging the company, causing wallet fatigue, and just driving people away from the game. There's no two ways to put it. So this ridiculous press release is practically borderline lying to the investors. They are misrepresenting this so hard with the fragile little plausible deniability. But yeah, they're really just lying to themselves. We all know how Magic's doing in 2021, and it's not good. So then it goes on to say, you'd be hard-pressed to find a bigger fan of Magic the Gathering than Post Malone. I doubt that. Said Nathan Stewart, head of franchise marketing for Wizards of the Coast. My reliable source for fan level. As a fan for years, he knows just how much Friday Night Magic means to players. And I saw him on some live stream or some clip or some promotional thing, or I don't remember, saying yeah, I've played all the time. I've played since high school or whatever, something like that, I think. I don't know. It was just something where I'm oh, that's interesting. I bet they're going to rope him in for a marketing thing, and then they did. But it's not I don't believe him. I think he actually plays Magic. In fact, I think I've seen him playing Magic in a clip. But I thought Fortnite just did something with Post Malone. He's now the... Oh, I forgot the name of that guy. That one Asian dude from that one podcast that will shill literally anything in the geek world. It's Post Malone is he's out there doing car commercials he's some NFL player. You offer him money, he'll be sure, I'll promote that. You gotta wonder, does this guy have enough money? But I mean, also, I think he's sincerely into video games, geek culture, and Magic. So maybe he's just oh, my PR person said they're offering me $1 million for this. And he's oh crap, I play that. Yeah, let's go. Better than promoting some stupid cologne or some stupid, scam website or some crypto crap. In other words, he's doing the opposite of Soulja Boy, who exclusively tweets out electronic scams, lawsuit-inducing copyright violations, and crypto scams. So then Nathan Stewart, head of franchise marketing for Wizards of the Coast, goes on to say, we're thrilled to collaborate with Posty in ways that will allow his signature style, talent, and love of the game to combine in ways fans will never forget. Yeah, he'll probably show up drunk and high to an event, and fans will never forget that. He's not wrong. I almost think that was like a backhanded statement after he called him Posty, which I'm pretty sure is British slang for a really crap type of moped. 100 cc's, baby, crank it. Gonna up on my Posty, mate. So then it quotes Posty. I can't say that with a straight face, as saying, "I'm obsessed with Magic the Gathering. This is really a dream come true," said Post Malone. "We'll be doing some cool stuff, so keep an eye out," he said at gunpoint. Oh, wait, I wasn't supposed to read that part. So, okay, there are trashier singers than him, like Tekashi 69, but like not by much, okay? He seems like a cool guy, but he also seems like he needs to get his shit together. It's not like I followed him and am his biggest fan and know everything about him. It's just, he has face tattoos and has had a drug problem, okay? Also, holy crap, I'm like 7 years older than him. My God. So then they drop their socials in case you want to watch for the latest news about him and Magic. Woo. And then because this is literally just in its entirety a copied and pasted press release with no context and no editing, it just says Wizards of the Coast PR contact, and then it says it, and then Post Malone PR contact, Bo Benton on behalf of Post Malone, and then it shows his email publicly without masking it. I hope he likes spam. Like, literally, it's a mail to link. Like, bots picked that up in about a second. I'm sure Bo appreciates that. Good job, Wizards. This is what happens when your third-party PR firm all uses Macs. They don't tend to know how the internet works. Or life. Then they go on to say, now remember, this is on Wizards Daily MTG page. About Wizards of the Coast. Wizards is a subsidiary of Hasbro Inc. And it just goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Like, it's like they accidentally put this instead of a statement that was meant for us, which means maybe the statement meant for us went out to, like, the stockholders at Hasbro. Okay, I doubt it, but that would be hilarious. They'd be like, "Hey, Magic fans," and people would be like, "What? I'm just an investor." We've got some great news while they're sitting there telling us, "Did you know Wizards is a subsidiary of Hasbro?" Yes, I did know that. Did you also know that they make Dungeons and Dragons and they're headquartered in Washington? Oh, then they go on to say headquartered in Washington with studios in Austin, Texas, and Montreal. I think one of those is where Arena is, and one of them might be the Arena Mobile. But there's a rumor going around that they're starting another game. That's right, after, let's see, there was the MOBA, which I think was canceled and replaced with, what was it? Not a Lord's Mobile clone. It was like something else. I don't play any of those crap mobile games, but it looked like the Command & Conquer crap mobile one, like that one. And that one fell flat on its face. Then there was Puzzle Quest, which they sponsored my YouTube channel, full disclosure, but the game actually legitimately was pretty good. Very well designed, very well balanced, very interesting take on it. Like simplified, watered down magic. It was pretty cool. But people did complain about the cost to keep up and be competitive, which, yeah, it was astronomical. Then we had the failed MMO that closed after 4 months from Perfect World. And yeah, it was designed like the most vanilla, boring, bland crap I've ever seen in my life. But the visuals and like the audio, not bad. So that's a shame. And now allegedly they're working on another game. But it's just a rumor. But it's a pretty good looking rumor, if I were to say so. And the word is one of those studios is gonna first party this thing. Oh, also, we don't know if it's, like, not a D&D game, but they just rolled one of those out, and that's kind of crap, too. What do they say? Like, it's just Diablo, but worse or something? I don't know. I didn't play it. It looked kind of cool, but I didn't play it. So I thought I'd throw that in. So they just go on and on about Post Malone, about Hasbro. Oh, here's its, history and this and that, whatever. And it's all like all the positive stuff and none of the negative stuff and a bunch of like awards and stuff that are meaningless in my opinion. And they're like, oh, did you know we also own Nerf and MLP and Transformers and Play-Doh and Monopoly and Power Rangers and a bunch of other dead stuff? Ooh, Peppa Pig, really? I love how they're like, we ranked number 13 on the 2019 best 100 best corporate citizens list. I guess that was before they were outed for not hiring black people while being, antagonistic and racist to their fans. Oh, and they've been rated one of the most ethical companies by Ethisphere Institute, which I'm sure is fair and balanced and not influenced in any way. For the past 8 years, you gotta be kidding me. My God, they should, whatever that is, they should be on like their shit list. Like they should be on like an entity list from them. Oh, and the end of the About Hasbro section ends with a copyright 2020. It's 12 months into 2021. And they didn't feel like updating it, probably because 2021 was such a shit year with no awards and nothing good to say about the company. And then they finish with this article on Daily MTG with About Magic the Gathering, a section which has a blatant typo in it. Who at Wizards was like, I want to leave early today. Oh, gotta catch a plane for early Christmas break here. I'm traveling. Let's just copy and paste it. And who cares if it makes sense in context? I'm not going to read this and reword it. That would take 10 minutes. So this is an awful lot of, puff piece fluff for just, hey, we're doing something with Post Malone next year. It literally could have been a tweet. And somehow they made it into an article that's so out of place for the audience reading Daily MTG, it's comical. I mean, this isn't even on like the Hasbro corporate site or Wizards alternative site, like their company page. I mean, it probably is there, but I just mean they also dropped it here, which is really weird in case you haven't got that. I read this and I'm like, what is this? At least cut off the end, at least cut off the part that says About Magic the Gathering in case somehow we read this and don't know where we are or what they're talking about. I mean, I didn't even cover some of the stuff in here. Like, they cited the best-selling novel, which I can't imagine which one that would be, and a critically acclaimed comic book series. I haven't heard much about that Chandra series. I heard people didn't love it. But, critics is just code for SJWs at this point. I mean, movie critics, book critics, anywhere. They're all crooked and they're all in their little cult cabal, so don't even get me started. And now we've got Post Malone, Captain Face Tat Drug Addict for the face of Magic the Gathering in 2022 because some out-of-touch dumb boomers were like, what are them their kids into? I think they are targeting kids because, one, the Fortnite thing that they're doing. What else? They did a My Little Pony thing, which, as if any kids watch that. But yeah, I think they're trying to get a younger audience to play Magic because that's just where the most new players are. They've given up on trying to get old players to come back because the game does not resemble what it was any time in the past except for when they went OP with the power level and almost killed the game around, what was that? Urza's? Or was it the Mirrodin? I don't know. I don't know anything about the old sets. It was the couple before Kamigawa. That's when they powered it back down. That's why everybody hated the set, is because it was so low synergy and low power, but they had to reset it. And everybody who played back then is telling me it's at that level or more right now with the power level and standard, and they don't like what that means for the future. And inventing all the new formats isn't going to fix it, okay? They took Alchemy and they made it more powerful with more card upgrades, 61 of them. So if they think that, dumb preteens and teens that listen to Post Malone are going to be like, he said he plays Magic and he's cool, so I'll be cool if I play it too. Yeah, that illusion will be shattered the first time they meet literally any Magic player. We're not a bunch of trendy, I'm gonna wear the same clothes as this rap artist piece of shit, clout chasing douchebags, just shallow idiots, like the people you wouldn't hang out with in high school because they're trend following posers. The Magic community is so different from Post Malone's fans that I can't imagine people will jump into it just because he's promoting it. I don't see it. I mean, you're going to pick up a certain percentage if they just show him playing Magic on live stream somewhere, but I don't think that's the most effective. They probably should have taken a famous League player, a famous Fortnite player, like an esports player, people who play competitive, high stakes online games, because that's the audience you want to target. They want to get people into Arena. They don't care about getting more people into Paper at this point because they have the obstacle of one, COVID, and then having a place to play, which are kind of the same thing. So anybody can sign onto a computer and just play Arena, and they got this stupid overpriced Alchemy crap. So, but I mean, what killed Artifact, that new game from, I believe Richard Garfield helped design that one. Steam was behind it, so they had limitless money, and it died after a couple months because they got too greedy. The game was well designed, and then they're like, well, okay, this looks like it'll launch okay. Let's make some money! Woo, let's release a bunch of cards, power creep it, do this, do that, release sets too quickly, everything people hate about Hearthstone. Let's just go down the list of reasons people quit Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, Pokemon, and Hearthstone, and then do all of those things. Oh shit, why did the game die? Huh, what happened? How did that happen? Clueless financial Wall Street management douchebags. That is what ruined Artifact, where they're like, you guys aren't monetizing this harder. It's 2021. Turn this into a Chinese-style manipulative mobile game. Wait, I don't get it. Everybody left. I thought gamers were stupid. Oh, well, I'm going to go ruin a different company. Bye, I quit. Golden parachute. $10 million severance. Bye. That's what was ruining Intel, is these stupid little incremental step-ups because AMD was putting no pressure on them, and it almost buried them for like 3 years. When, Ryzen came out and they were just like, oh, this is kind of nice. Gen 2 came out and they're like, oh crap, they're tied. And then Ryzen 3rd gen came out and people were just like, it's over for Intel. Their $500 chip and AMD's $200 chip are the same speed. Then they started moving into the server space and Intel had to scramble. They fired their CEO and rehired, I should say, one of their lead, technical engineers. He's now running the company. An engineer who understands computers and, the business and chip design and how to run a company not into the ground. Instead of just a Wall Street, finance, manipulative, gains now, who cares about the future? Abuse the customers, make this as incremental and drawn out as possible, do as little as possible, make as much money as possible. So what we need in charge of Wizards of the Coast and or Hasbro is somebody who understands gaming. Now, the CEO of Hasbro themselves just stepped down for medical reasons. I think shortly after he actually died, so you could say it's either reason. I think he had cancer or something, but the new CEO, he seems to have his head screwed on straight, but he is not a gamer. The guy's an out-of-touch old guy. But they're really hands-off with Wizards. As long as they keep, writing the checks, they don't really seem to micromanage them from what I heard. But the new CEO of Wizards of the Coast, that division of Hasbro, is the number one problem at Wizards, arguably, maybe tied with Mark Rosewater. He's allegedly, the rumor is, behind all of the greedy cash grab crap that they've done. He might even be the one behind, hey, let's team up with Post Malone. That'll get them their kids into this. It's just so many out-of-touch old people at Wizards. They don't know what the hell they're doing. And their egos are the size of cathedrals. So they won't admit what they did wrong, and they keep circling back and making the same mistakes over and over and over. They cycle through people. They won't pay their talent enough. And they won't stop posting about their personal politics and beliefs on social media. It's how not to run a company in 2021 101, a case study. You could turn this into a college course about what not to do. That's why I'm not that excited about this team up with Post Malone, and why I'm really concerned about Wizards and the game in 2022, and why I'm hedging my bets and making new YouTube channels, because I have zero confidence that the game's going to have any kind of audience or following. And then the dagger comes in after they dodged a bullet with Artifact, dodged a bullet with Keyforge, and dodged a bullet with 5 other games that came out. Now we've got Flesh and Blood, which is actually doing well. I mean, we had the Final Fantasy game, which people were hyped about. The Dragon Ball game, which people were hyped about. I don't think either one of those did that well, but Flesh and Blood, the company behind it seems a little iffy, but they're no Wizards of the Coast. Okay, they made one glaring mistake, but they corrected it and were adults about it. How refreshing. So if you made it this far in the video, I'm going to honestly and actually ask you, and I might make this a poll on my community tab at some point. Should I, on this channel, learn Flesh and Blood and start covering it? I know I don't have the money to buy into it. It is outrageously expensive, which single-handedly killed the Final Fantasy and DBZ games, by the way. Just about. But people are telling me, no, that's the original OG first edition collectible blah, but not this. Oh, but then there are these power cards, but then there's this. I'm like, what does it cost to build a good deck? Somebody gave me a number, and I'm like, yeah, I'm out. And I don't think they have any digital product yet either. But I barely know anything about the game. But from what I heard about the gameplay, it sounds like I might enjoy it, and it's well designed. It kind of sounds a little bit like Vanguard, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, and by the way, Richard Garfield just announced another game really recently, a month ago. Ran a Kickstarter for it, and it went 20 times over its goal or something outrageous like that, which should have Wizards sweating bullets because Richard Garfield invented magic, and Keyforged was pretty darn close to unseating Magic, except instead of solving net decking, it actually just was the epitome of net decking. You literally go on the net and buy the deck in its entirety. There actually is no deck building, which, oops, but it was a clever idea. It was intended to be price controlled until the secondary market got involved. It was pretty uninformed and tone deaf for the TCG community. I don't think Richard quite knew what he was getting into there. And I think he's pretty much abandoned that. But I didn't feel like that was just him strapping his name to it. I think he like actually designed that one. But this new one, I looked into it, and it makes Crimson Verse look complicated. Okay, it is like a game for idiots and children. I think your deck consists of like 8 cards or something. Like, that's the best I can tell you, is your deck is 8 cards. It's like 5 + 3 from an extra deck or something. Yeah, this is some dumb cutesy little side game, and if I was gonna play like a cutesy little small scale intro side game, it would be Zoo Tiles. Former sort of channel sponsor, which they've actually been blowing up pretty good lately. Me and Josh gonna jump on Tabletop Simulator sometime, and it's gonna be Desolator Magic versus the creator of the game, just out of nowhere dropping on my channel sometime in the near future. We just gotta get scheduling done, and I gotta learn the rest of the game. I get the gist of it. But that game, I mean, it's simplistic for now, but so was Alpha and Beta, you know what I mean? Like for Magic. So he's adding new sets, new tiles, expansions, because he's got the money coming in because it's kind of blowing up and doing well at conventions. And it's a physical tile placement thing. And then we got Domain TCG. Once again, full disclosure, a big channel sponsor in the past, but now me and the creator are just like friends, and I hype the game because it's cool and I play it occasionally. I went and checked out the new graphics update and the balancing update, and it's wild, and he even gave me like a secret little link code thing to verse one of the new bots, and it absolutely kicked my ass after I came back and won 5 matches in a row after not playing it for months. Like, I still got it. I'm one of the kind of better Domain players. There are people way better than me, but I'm at least adept at it. But that game is the cure for net decking because, yeah, you can build a deck that everybody said, but then it's up to you to play it. I'd say it's 25% deck building and 75% you better move your stuff on the grid correctly, because it pretty much is just a chess game after that. It's, oh, this one can move 2 squares and this one can only move diagonally and this and that. And you move the cards, the creatures, the summoning stuff, and then there's also side spells around on the board. And so that's on you. It's all player skill. So you have to actually be a talented player who knows what they're doing and knows why the deck was built the way it was, and then move things correctly and react to circumstances correctly, or you're going to lose. So I'd say it's like chess where it's 100% skill, but it's chess where you get to design the pieces yourself, but it's still 100% skill. You know what I mean? Because you could take the best deck in the world and blow it, and like, it just doesn't matter if you're not good at the game. You're going to lose 100% of the time. So I said it's 25% deck building and 75% skill, but it's really 100% skill, but also deck building is important. So if that seems like a paradox, well, just go check out the game. It's Enter the Domains. That's the, .com. That's the website. He didn't pay me to say that in this video. I'm just shouting it out because, in my opinion, it is the best TCG out right now, and the active player count is insane over there. If I was Wizards and I was aware of that game, I would be sweating bullets over that more than almost anything else. So, I mean, Richard Garfield just raised like $250,000 for his new TCG that he's coming out with, but I would be like writing it off as not even in the same class as Magic the Gathering, wouldn't even be on my radar, wouldn't even be concerned if I were them. But Domain, the actual cure for net decking, yikes, I would be very, very, very worried. And it's browser-based, and he's working on getting it on mobile. I mean, I'd be worried. And I mean, if you think, oh, here goes Desolator again, knocking Wizards of the Coast, everything is always negative, everything's doom and gloom, and everything is the game's gonna die. If I haven't backed it up with real numbers and statistics enough, just go watch their announcement for Kamigawa and their announcement for Alchemy. Just on the Alchemy live stream, the Twitch stream, from what I saw, just skipping around and reading the chat, about 85 to 90% of it was negative. On Wizards' Twitch account, you have to follow and subscribe to them in order to chat. And they have like 50 moderators. Anybody saying anything in the chat is actively following and giving money to Wizards of the Coast on Twitch out of their pocket. And 80 to 90% of what was said in chat from those people, from that pool of people giving Wizards money for free with nothing in return, were lighting up the chat with, Where's Pioneer? I don't want this. This looks awful. Alchemy is crap. What's up with this power level? Fix this, fix that, make a ban, fix standard. It was basically me times 1,000 in the chat. Like, you guys don't even know how angry the community is at Wizards. I think at this point, they've reached their breaking point, and they've like finally caught up with where I was and have been for like the last 3 or 4 years. Just dumping on Wizards and saying this is way worse than anybody thinks it is. So glad we're all on the same page. Wizards is ruining the game. That is a fact at this point. That is the overwhelming majority opinion from people who have played the game long enough to know what they're talking about and aren't lying to themselves. So yes, the outlook for 2022 is extremely grim. And remember, we're like 11 months away from a rotation? 10 months? What even is it? And you think that's going to fix anything? Have you seen Midnight Hunt and Crimson Vow? Have you played against a Werewolf Tribal deck, which is self-contained and doesn't need anything from the past sets that are going to rotate? Like, I'd love Keldheim to leave as much as the next guy, but it doesn't matter if the Werewolves are still here among other individual cards that were printed in Vow. So it doesn't look like the game's going to a good place. Really doesn't. We'll see, though. It'll be interesting to see if Neon Dynasty is a really low power level set. I just don't think they would be capable of doing that when the first Kamigawa sets, the whole block, failed miserably because they had to power it down because of the immense power level that they cranked it up to before it. Would they really do it twice? Like, is Kamigawa the new whipping boy where they just are like, fine, let's just let people hate this. This will be the hated plane where everything is low-powered crap that nobody wants to play with. And then we'll just push arena and draft in silly formats until we can ride it out for another year. I mean, wouldn't it be simpler to just ban like 10 cards than like ruin an entire set and spike it for like a year and a half while you try to flush out cards that were mistakes? I've been hearing, don't worry guys, rotation will fix it from Wizards ever since people wanted Chain Whirler banned. So don't start with me with the whole rotation's gonna fix it. Rotation isn't gonna fix anything, and looking forward to it is incredibly naive after the last 3 rotations didn't fix shit. So yeah, that's what's going on in 2022. They gave their optimistic, Post Malone and cool stuff and digital stuff. So I wanted to offset it with, reality, something a little bit more based, a little bit more realistic. And if you still disagree with me, honestly, I've cited so much proof, so many like other people than myself that you're just lying to yourself and you're wrong. You are factually incorrect if you say the game is healthy and everything's fine, because that just is wrong. It is just a false impression of what's going on. So please stop lying to yourself. Hopefully they fix Magic in 2022. Really 2023. Let's cut the crap. That's what they're gonna have to do unless they rotate early, which I'm still all for. I'm still all for that. Maybe that's why they did 5 sets in 2021. I don't know. So don't forget to leave a comment down below. Should I cover Flesh and Blood? And not just do you like it and then you'd like me to talk about it, like do you think I should cover it? I have a feeling it'll be like when my channel first started. I have nothing bad to say about it whatsoever except for one of their questionable design choices that they pre-banned. But that's like one mistake and they don't antagonize the fans, they actually listen to the community. So it'll all be sunshines and rainbows. I'm just saying. And then I'll cover Domain 2. Like, do you think I should expand off of Magic? Because like I know other channels where they expanded outside their core thing and it was a disaster. And then you've got Brian from Tolarian who now covers Flesh and Blood, and so does Rudy. And their channels are exploding because of it. Which way should I go? And do you enjoy Flesh and Blood? And what's the major benefits that you love about it? And what's the major problems? And I might actually reiterate this in a separate video too, to make sure I get like the widest opinion. So watch for a community tab poll and watch for maybe another separate short video on this. If you want to give your opinion down below though, I'd love to hear it. So thanks for watching and I'll see you guys next time.